Welcome to Workplace Jungle. Step into the world of Workplace Jungle, where we uncover the hidden truths and tackle the real issues in the corporate landscape. In today's fast-paced world, the concept of work-life balance has become increasingly important. With the rise of technology and the blurring of boundaries between work and personal life, employees are often expected to be available around the clock. This has led to a growing need for the right to disconnect in India, which aims to protect employees from excessive work demands outside regular working hours. The right to disconnect is the right of employees to disconnect from work-related communication outside of normal working hours. This right is becoming increasingly important in today's world, where technology has blurred the lines between work and personal life. India has been facing serious issues related to employee burnout and work-life balance. A recent survey conducted by Census-Wide for Indeed highlights a striking issue within India's workforce. 90% of Indian workers receive work-related calls outside office hours, even during sick leave or holidays. This statistic underscores a persistent culture of after-hours connectivity, which often blurs the line between professional and personal life. As India navigates an increasingly competitive global market, the balance between productivity and employee well-being has become a pressing concern. The study sheds light on the pressure workers feel to remain available, with 85% fearing negative repercussions like missing promotions or damaging their professional reputation if they ignore such communications. The survey reveals a clear generational divide in attitudes towards after-hours communication. Baby boomers, who largely view after-hours availability as a mark of loyalty and dedication, contrast sharply with Gen Z employees, who emphasize the importance of work-life balance. For many younger workers, persistent boundary violations may lead to frustration and even resignation. Gen Z's perspective reflects a broader cultural shift toward valuing mental health, personal time, and flexibility in the workplace. Interestingly, the survey notes that while 79% of employers support the implementation of a right to disconnect policy, concerns about productivity remain a significant hurdle. In industries where immediate responses and around-the-clock availability are valued, the prospect of limiting after-hours contact is met with apprehension. To address this tension, some companies offer additional compensation for employees' after-hours availability, a measure aimed at retaining talent while maintaining operational efficiency. In India, the right to disconnect is not yet a legal right. However, there is a growing movement to recognize this right. In 2018, the Indian government released a draft of the Code on Social Security, 2018, which aimed to consolidate and simplify various labor laws related to social security, such as pensions, maternity benefits, gratuity, and employee insurance. Among its provisions, the draft included a clause related to the right to disconnect. This would have granted employees the legal right to disengage from work-related communications like emails, calls, or messages outside their official working hours, safeguarding their personal time and ensuring better work-life balance. However, this provision was not included in the final version of the code. When the draft was finalized and enacted as the Code on Social Security, 2020, the specific provision for the right to disconnect was omitted. The reasons for this exclusion could include lobbying by industries, challenges in enforcing such a right, or a lack of consensus on its implementation in India's diverse work culture. The omission reflects the complexities of balancing workers' rights with employer concerns in a rapidly evolving economy. It also highlights the ongoing debate in India about prioritizing employee well-being versus productivity and organizational flexibility. The exclusion means that, as of now, there is no statutory framework in India granting employees the right to disconnect, leaving the issue to be addressed informally by individual organizations or through future legislative efforts. There are provisions in the Constitution's directive principles of state policy, such as Article 38, which directs the state to promote the welfare of people, and Article 39(e), which directs the state to secure the strength and health of its workers. Additionally, various judicial rulings, such as the Vishakha v. State of Rajasthan case, 1997. This landmark case laid the foundation for safeguarding the dignity and rights of workers, especially women, in the workplace. It arose after the horrifying gang rape of a social worker, Bhamwari Devi, in Rajasthan. The Supreme Court recognized the absence of comprehensive legislation addressing sexual harassment in the workplace. It established the Vishakha guidelines, which provided a framework to prevent and address sexual harassment, focusing on creating a safe and conducive working environment for women. These guidelines placed a responsibility on employers to ensure workplace safety and uphold employees' rights. The judgment emphasized not only physical safety but also psychological well-being, acknowledging that a hostile work environment adversely affects workers' mental health and productivity. The guidelines were a precursor to the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act, 2013. The Ravindra Kumar Dhariwal case, 2021. This case involved the critical aspect of workers' mental and physical health in the context of modern workplaces. It was particularly notable for addressing the pressures of contemporary work culture. The case revolved around the sudden cardiac arrest of an employee, allegedly due to workplace stress and long hours. The court took the opportunity to underline the importance of employers fostering a healthy work-life balance. It reiterated that excessive work hours and undue stress could lead to severe health issues, highlighting the employer's duty to care for employees' health under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, Right to Life, emphasize workers' welfare and health. The judgment reflected a growing recognition of the need for boundaries in professional life, reinforcing the importance of disconnecting from work for maintaining physical and mental well-being. This aligns closely with the global discourse on the right to disconnect and its necessity in today's tech-driven work environments. Together, these rulings emphasize that a holistic approach to workers' welfare is not just desirable but necessary. Whether addressing harassment or ensuring employees can unplug from work, the message is clear. Protecting workers' health and dignity is integral to a fair and just society. Despite the lack of concrete legal recognition, there are a number of reasons why the right to disconnect is important in India. First, India has a long working week, with many employees working more than 40 hours per week. This can lead to burnout and stress. Second, technology has made it easier for employers to contact employees outside of working hours. This can make it difficult for employees to disconnect from work and enjoy their personal time. The issue of after-hours communication is not unique to India. Countries like France have already enacted El Khomri law in 2017 right to disconnect laws, mandating companies with over 50 employees to negotiate policies limiting out-of-hours communication. This legislative approach provides a potential model for India, where labor laws are still evolving to address modern workplace challenges. Portugal and Spain have similar laws, and Australia passed the Fair Work Legislation Amendment in 2023, granting employees the right to disconnect outside of working hours. Adopting a right to disconnect policy in India could yield several benefits, including 1. Enhanced employee well-being. Clear boundaries can reduce burnout and improve mental health. 2. Increased productivity. Employees who have time to recharge often perform better during work hours. 3. Talent retention. Respecting personal time aligns with Gen Z's workplace expectations, reducing turnover. 4. Positive employer branding. Companies that prioritize work-life balance may attract top talent. To address the growing need for work-life balance in India, it is crucial to legislate the right to disconnect. This would ensure that employees have the right to disengage from work-related tasks outside of their official working hours, promoting a healthier work-life balance and better mental health. Legislative action is needed to ensure comprehensive enforcement and protect employees from excessive work demands. Despite its potential advantages, implementing such a policy comes with challenges. Employers need to address industry-specific requirements and cultural norms that prioritize constant availability. Establishing clear guidelines, investing in time management tools, and fostering a supportive workplace culture are essential steps in this direction. The right to disconnect is more than a policy. It's a shift towards a healthier, more sustainable workplace culture. As Indian businesses compete on the global stage, balancing productivity with employee well-being is not just desirable but necessary. Policymakers, employers, and employees must collaborate to redefine boundaries and foster a culture that values personal time as much as professional commitment. This approach will not only benefit individuals but also strengthen the organizational fabric, paving the way for a more resilient and motivated workforce. The right to disconnect is a growing need in India as employees face increasing work demands and stress. Implementing specific laws to protect employees' right to disconnect would promote a fairer work environment and a healthier, more productive workforce. It is time for India to recognize the importance of work-life balance and take steps to safeguard employees' rights. Let's start the conversation and advocate for a healthier future for every worker in India. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Together, we can drive change. See you in the next video.